funny thing about our name, Nightlight Interactive, is that everyone's always messing it up. And so we've been to a lot of conventions, and one of the first ones we were at, they put Light Interactive like in the official pamphlet. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. So the entire convention we're just joking around, like, oh, hey, what's up, Light? And then even then on our official documents, they put, like when I registered with LA for taxes, they put Might Light Interactive. So I don't know what's difficult about Nightlight, but everyone always messes it up. I'll just give you a quick summary of what the game's about. Whispering Willows is a horror adventure game where you play as a girl named Elena who's able to astral project her spirit, and then as her spirit you can talk and interact with ghosts as well as possess objects in the environment and kind of navigate through this old mansion. The premise is that you're looking for your lost father, and he's somewhere in this mansion. That was the last place he was ever seen. We had ended up having a pretty large team near the end, but we started off with just a few people. The main question we had going into this is, how do you start a company and make a quality game with close to nothing? We were just getting, trying to get into the industry, and really didn't have much behind us, besides a few credits on different games. And so how do we make a quality game? Most companies, the main thing for them is, how can this game make money? How can we get the most profit possible? But for Nightlight and for other indies, it becomes more of, how can we make a game that we love? How can we make something that we're passionate about, but then of course, and still make money? So we started off with a small team of 6. It was just close friends that, again, had really just wanted to break into the industry. And then it ended up becoming friends of friends as they started hearing about the project and saying, oh wow, that's really cool. And then ultimately we became 30 strong and really had a large group at the end. The team that we had, they poured in countless hours into the project. Everyone on the team had a full-time job, so this was all just on the side. So over 2 years they were working, and it was very little money for the entire project. And so the question is, how did we manage this, and why would people want to invest that much time and effort into it? And the biggest thing is passion. People were passionate about the project. It started off for a lot of people because they joined initially because they wanted a portfolio piece and they want to get into the game industry and they want to be part of a team, part of something bigger. And what was nice along the way is people were able to, learn and kind of craft and hone their skills. But ultimately it was because they're passionate about what the project was about, and they wanted to be able to really give kind of the piece of them and affect the project, in only the way that they can. So as a leader, I had to keep everyone, motivated, but it wasn't too hard because everyone, again, was doing this because they loved it. But the biggest things that I found were, you really have to keep people accountable. You have to keep, you have to set deadlines and follow up with people. And then I all the time created the most micro tasks possible, really boiled it down to the most micro tasks that people need to complete stuff. We used for management Basecamp, and then we used Trello for tracking bugs, and those really helped with our large teams. It was also difficult because everyone was working remotely, and so those really helped kind of bring the team together and give each other input. And ultimately, as the leader, I had to be the driving force behind the team. I had to really keep pushing the project forward, because as excited as people are, going for 2 years, that's a very long time, and we had very few people drop off. But the reason is because we had to kind of keep inspiring people constantly, keep getting, reminding them why they joined this and why they're doing this. So we started off with a lot of, with the convention. We started off with the OUYA Create, which was a game jam. And this was a 10-day game jam that OUYA put on. If you don't know, OUYA is a console. They're kind of an indie like us. They're a console that is really pushing and advocating for indie developers. And so they had a game jam. I'd been following them since their days of Kickstarter, and it was a great opportunity for us to kind of test the waters with our idea. So we created a game, it did incredibly well. We won Most Immersive, and then we were also runner-up for Best Visuals and the Grand Prize. So right off the bat, it was amazing getting all that feedback for us, because we had never, outside the team, we had never shown anyone this before, and so that was incredibly validating for us. And what that led to was a partnership with OUYA, and we were put on their console first. They helped with financing, they helped with marketing, and they even brought us to a ton of different conventions to show off the game. So we were at GDC, we were at E3, and I even talked on an OUYA panel at GDC Next. So really just a great group of people that we were able to work with, and all of that was because we entered their convention. Another one is the Seattle Indie Game Dev Competition. We won that several months ago, and the biggest thing of that is we met Yulia, who works and runs the indie showcase here. And so through that connection, I was able to give this talk, we were able to showcase our game here, and instantly she basically accepted us and said that we could show our game here. And then lastly, we had our composer works for Rooster Teeth. They did Red vs. Blue. They're working on a series called Ruby right now. And he got us into RTX, the Rooster Teeth convention. So ultimately, contests, they've given us exposure, they've given us financing, they've given us critique, both from veterans in the industry as well as our peers and people that came around and played our game. And so it's just been great for us because there's really been a ton of benefits, and it's basically free marketing. I mean, you sometimes have to pay a small entrance fee of $50, $100, but it's so much better than putting up ads on somewhere. It's so much more personable because you can actually showcase your game at the convention, and usually you get everything else paid for as long as you can afford your travel. So we did do a Kickstarter. After the successful game jam, we did a Kickstarter. We raised $20,000, but the biggest thing for me was that it was more than just the money. When we were raising the money, it was kind of funny. I said, well, since our team was 30 at the time, I was like, well, pretty much if everyone's parents and family backs our project, we're going to be funded. So it did help that we had a big team, but it was so much more that we gained from that. We built a community from it, and we really tried to leverage this community as much as possible because we felt it was very, the community is what takes you further. The money only can take you so far, but the community keeps on giving back. It was really a nice Kickstarter was a nice kind of hub to really bring together our friends and family as well as complete strangers that stumbled upon the project that, were very interested in it. And then also other indies. These are a couple games. This is Amazing Frog. So this is the Elena as a frog carrying a little OUYA that you can play as in their game. And see, she has the spirit. And then this was another one of our characters, which was put in So Many Me, another game on OUYA. And we'll be in a kart racing game coming up soon too. So just made a ton of connections through the Kickstarter. The biggest thing I think is that people invest in people. And that's why, in my opinion, crowdfunding does so well, because you're investing in other people's passion, in other people's dreams, and you're really helping those people take their project to the next level. I've personally backed a lot of projects, and I haven't even opened some of them. And it's not because I'm not into the project, it's because the main reason I invested in it and all these people is because I just wanted to see them do well. I just wanted to see their project succeed. The fans that we created from this really helped us in the digital space. Through the forums, there was fans reaching out in all these different forums across the board, whatever their favorite forum was, telling people about our game. So they were, doing the advertising for us. The social media, we've been really trying to be active on our social media. We do ghost puns all the time and lots of fun jokes that people can interact with, and it's really helped kind of engage the community. And then YouTube videos, there's been tons of different people posting. I think we have several hundred YouTube videos now of either Let's Play or just people's thoughts and their reviews on the game. And that's really great, and I really advocate that because I think it's very important that your community is, being as active and participating as much as they can with your game, because ultimately that's what, they're gonna sustain it. And then what we also got was we got a lot of translators. These were people just coming to us wanting to bring our game to their language. And so we had 7 different translators in the game, 7 different languages the game was translated, English, Spanish, French, Italian, German, Russian, and Polish. And it was really amazing because instead of just, we were only planning on doing the game in English, but there's so much interest to bring this to other parts of the world. It really astounded us, and we've been doing incredibly well in those other parts of the world. So that was a great thing to have. So as I said, it wasn't just $20,000 that we earned from the Kickstarter. It was 750 backers earned in my eyes. They helped us because they were passionate about our team and they were passionate about our ideas. To me, the passion is what it is to be indie. It's the desire to create despite the odds against you. And money likely doesn't equal indie, but that doesn't mean that you can't make money. If you're passionate about what you're doing and you do a really good job with what you're doing, you can make just as much money as the people that are making games only to make money. And I think that's really important. I think there's really multiple kinds of people in this world, and I think you should do something because you're passionate about it, because you love it, and not do something just to make money from it. And if you're successful, then you will make money from it. You're even seeing a lot of AAA people these days become indie for that reason. They can, it's not just about making money anymore. They really have the freedom to create. And that's really what started OUYA as well. They really were kind of a foundation for helping indies develop, and they were, their whole, everything they do is, for the indies. They kind of facilitated bringing indie gamers down to the sit-down couch community, and they're about going your own route. Don't go just with the big studios. Do your own thing and come to us. And what's cool is you're even seeing indies like in the IGF leaking into the Gamers' Choice Awards. We're at GDC. I go every year. And it's interesting, more and more indies every single year are leaking in, and it's because the games that they're putting out are very innovative and they're totally kick-ass. But it's like you're seeing like GTA 5 with Papers, Please, which was a one-man team. It's really kind of the David and Goliath. Passion drives indies, and indies drive innovation. But it wasn't easy. As I said, we spent 2 years working on Whispering Willows. We had a full-time job the entire time. A lot of us never even got paid. And even at one point, our writer was living on the marketing director's couch with his girlfriend and his cat for multiple months. So it's not easy, and we struggled. But because we were passionate, because we were devoted, it helped our team, kind of go the extra mile. The money helped us, definitely. It helped us, be able to create the initial prototypes, but it was the passion that was the driving force. It was the passion that kept us going throughout the whole process. And really, it was not just the passion of our team, but it was the passion of our family, our friends, and all these strangers that kind of built this community. It was the passion of the people that we met at these conventions that really helped us push it farther. And if you have any questions, that's our social media. If you want to see some cool ghost jokes to raise your spirits, you can check it out. Thank you. Any questions?
What was your full-time job?
I'm a producer at an animation and game studio. So kind of my 2 jobs were very similar between my hobby job and my daytime job. So for me, it was easy kind of going between the two, and since I love working on animation and games, I didn't mind doing 12-hour days, doing the 8 hours of that, and then going to Whispering Willows. So for me, it was kind of just an extension of my daily job. But other people, they would do something totally different during the day, and then they'd be an artist at night on the project. Maybe they'd do marketing or work in a restaurant during the day. It wasn't like their ideal job to be working, and so this was kind of it was their hobby. It was really what they were passionate about.
But now that you've published, are you going to change that? Are you going to be more full-time on this?
Definitely the goal is to become full-time and to make this the full-time gig. We're looking at several different avenues for our second title now. But yeah, ultimately I would break away from anything else so that this company can be the main focus. Yeah.
Where did you find people to collaborate with?
Again, it kind of just started my close friends. I was like, oh, we have someone that's really great at marketing, someone who's really exceptional at art, someone who's fantastic at composing. I actually met one of our composers in a GDC panel. It was like the Dead Space audio panel, and he's been my composer for now 6 years. And so really, I encourage you all to just network as much as you can at these things, because you can make lifelong connections. So that was, we kind of had that foundation, and then from there, it was really people came to us, and especially with the Kickstarter and started getting up on Steam and stuff. I mean, we had artists, musicians, all the translators came to us. We even had a producer during our Kickstarter that wanted to produce a movie for Whispering Willows, and so they're actually just 2 weeks ago, they finished the script finally after about a year. And so I don't know if it's ever going to see the light of day, but they're pitching it to make a Whispering Willows movie as well. So it was just phenomenal, the amount of people that thought this is a kick-ass project and I want to be a part of it. The question is, a lot of people worked on the project. Would they want to benefit from Nightlight's success and get paid back? And yeah, most definitely. We actually had a deferred payment system set up, and so depending on the success of the game, that'll lead to basically how much the team makes. Some people we paid as many people up front as we can, because I think it's a lot cleaner that way. But a lot of people, did basically work for deferred pay.
So how many people are the core team that actually Nightlight's future?
Probably 10 of those people that I can see. Because the thing with, there's so many people, and people are always taken aback by that number. It's like, wow, 30 people worked on it? The main reason 30 people worked on it wasn't because it took 30 people to create it. It was because how few hours each person could put into the project was like, maybe you can work 5 hours a week, maybe this guy can work 3 hours a week. And really, since it was just people devoting their time and their passion to it, I didn't want to restrict anyone and say, oh, I need you to work 15 hours this week on the project. I let people work as little or as much as they wanted. But because of that, I had to scale up and I had to get more and more people to be able to get the project on track and on schedule and be able to finish in a timely manner. Otherwise, at 2 artists working 2 hours a week each, that's barely anything. So, yeah.
Did you use any collaborative real-time tools with your creative team, like Neurally or something similar to that, if you're working all virtual?
No, but luckily the biggest management system we had in place was the Basecamp. We didn't have any real-time tools though. Luckily, my programmer was in-house, and then the writer and the game designer and a few of the artists lived close by.
Okay.
And so for some of that, the foundation work, we were able to do it in person. And then everything else, a lot of the art, a lot of the music and sound, that was all people all across the United States. We even have a programmer who's in Turkey right now. So.